Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, and I am in the swampy mangroves of South Florida, actually podcasting today, again, on January 14th, 2014. And decided to do another episode because this is really, this is my goat, I would say. And we're going to be talking about the Kelley Thomas Verdict, which the article I'm going to be narrating is called Kelley Thomas Verdict, Support Your Local Police Urber Alice, written by William Norman Grigg. And this site is on LouRockwell.com, which is an anti-state, anti-war, pro-marketing, called libertarian website. Very good information. And I'll just say, let us begin on this controversy. Kelley Thomas has died as a result of being beaten, tasered, and suffocated by thugs swarm of police on July 5th, 2011. A jury in Orange County, California, an authoritarian conservative community in which the Support Your Local Police movement took root and flourished in the mid-1960s, has acquitted the two ringleaders of that police gang, Manuel Ramos and Ken Cinnelli, of all charges arising from that atrocity. Manuel Ramos, who harassed, taunted, and terrorized Thomas for nearly a half hour before the beating began, was charged with second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter and faced up to 15 years in prison. Cinnelli, charged with criminal assault, confronted a 4-year prison term. Both were fired from the Fullerton Police Department following a public outcry. You see these fists, Ramos grunted at Kelley, a mentally ill homeless man who was sitting peacefully on the curb. They're about to F you up. Such language comes easily to Ramos, who in both his private and professional lives and is an enthusiast of gang culture. Thomas had done nothing to warrant attention on the part of the police, let alone a violent arrest. He was beaten with fists, batons, and a butt end of the taser at various times during the assault. All 6 police officers, nearly 3/4 of a ton, privileged, tax-fattened, costume silhouette, piled on top of the 160-pound man, crushing his chest and causing terminal asphyxia. Thomas died crying out for his father, retired Sheriff's Deputy Ron Thomas. The department had initially claimed that neither Ramos nor Cicinelli nor the other 6 officers who joined in the orgy of officially sanctioned violence had violated department policy. During the trial, Corporal Stephen Rubio, a training officer at the Fullerton PD, insisted that the actions of the officers, including the sadistic threat by Ramos, were compatible with department policy. Defense experts witness Stephen Karch, K-A-R-C-H, a paid shill who flogged spurious medical theories on behalf of abusive cops, testified that the police beating didn't kill Thomas, but rather that the mentally troubled man simply chose that time to die from an undiagnosed heart condition. John Barrett, the police union attorney who represents the killer cops, insisted that the beating was an appropriate response to Thomas's pathetic, doomed struggle to save his life. In his closing argument, Orange County DA Tony Rakukis emphasized that Thomas had the right to resist an unlawful arrest and to defend himself against the criminal violence initiated by Ramos and Cicinelli. The jury validated the argument that the act of resisting such criminal violence is a capital offense worthy of summary execution, apart from the transparent sophistries offered by Dr. Karch and the inventive restructuring of the crime by Barnett, who invited the jury to pretend that an unarmed, terrified Thomas posed a threat to a half-dozen police armed officers. The defense had no case. The only way a guilty verdict could be avoided was if the jury was drawn from a population deeply tainted. Yes, that is the proper word. With law and order conservatism would accept the premise that police have an unqualified license to kill anybody upon whom they focus their malign attention. Rather than upholding the law, the jury supported local enforcement, thereby fulfilling what the support your local police committee describes as moral obligations of citizens. Quote, the local police are not your enemy. Your committee is not here to attack them, blame them for violating the Constitution or your civil liberties. We urge all responsible citizens in this community support your local police in the performance of their duties and oppose all harassment or interference with law enforcement personnel as they carry out their assigned task. We must accept our responsibilities to our local police to defend them against unjust attacks, make them proud and secure in their vital profession, and to offer them our support in word and deed whenever possible. That was written by William Norman Grigg, which was yesterday. I have to admit this. I've heard about this case a while back, and I saw the video for the first time, especially the first 15 minutes, when Officer Manuel Ramos said, "You see these fists, I can fuck you up." Excuse my language. That's the words he said. As far as I'm concerned, Ramos and Cicinelli are a bunch of tyrannical scumbags. Don't deserve a badge, don't deserve to work at a bar bouncing for all I care. They're lard-asses pieces of trash, and I hope they hear it because I don't care. I'll let everyone in California know the fact the police aren't obligated to protect you. Don't give them the authority on harassing you. That I am being real polite here too, with all in good faith. These guys are nothing more than grateful lard-asses. Okay? I can call them the spaghetti duo. I say that ethically. That's what they are. Pieces of garbage. A bunch of bullies. They think they can do whatever they want. I'll tell you one thing. Something's going to may happen to them. The form of Lex Talanis against them. And I say this, I'm not going to say I wish it's going to happen. What blowback can occur against them or they love at any time when least expected? And I hope that's not the case. But those guys are criminals. Plain and simple. And I am being polite, so forgive me. I could be a little more rude. But I'm going to give the note to Californians. Honor your natural born rights. Don't cry to Jerry Brown or to your representatives. Go by your inalienable rights, including defending your friends, your families, loved ones, etc. Because if you're going to rely on the police to stop the crime, forget about it. All those bogus registration laws on defending yourself with firearms is null and void. As far as I'm concerned, those bastards who support it need to be tarred and feathered, including those lawyers and those your elected servants. And you know what? I'm in a pretty good mood right now, even though I am very, very disturbed, because this is happening worldwide. It is occurring in Australia as well. We're not the only one with police brutality or corrupt issues or fellow peace officers, so-called now peace officers, want to be given more aggression. All right. One thing the book I could recommend is called Arrest Proof Yourself. Just type in Arrest Proof Yourself. I don't have the author's name at the top of my head. However, this man was involved with he was a former Miami police officer and involved on opening up the Miami Rivers cop case. I prefer that. And another book you should read too by Richard W. Stevens titled Dial 911 and Die. You can go to jpf4.org or amazon.com to look for that. Excellent book about the police aren't obligated to protect you as an individual. And I'm not going after police as a whole. Alright? They're human beings. They do care about their families and people they love. Right now, there's a big division within this entity. You got officers that want to honor their fellow citizens and their neighbors, etc. And plus, you have more other people like Ramos and Cicinelli are just a bunch of pieces of garbage. All they do is probably drink a lot of beer and eat McDonald's hamburgers. That's how pathetic they look, act, and think. These bastards are like Ted Bundy's, Theodore Bundy, as far as I'm concerned, with badges. And anyone can tell them that. They can call me. They can email me. I don't care. Bring it. Because deep down inside, they know I'm right. And let's start off here with what's so interesting about the preamble of California's Constitution. And it says here, "We, the people of the state of California, grateful to Almighty God for our freedom in order to secure and perpetuate its blessings, do establish its Constitution." What can I say about that? Well, the preamble right now is sacrilege. All I see down there in that state, it should be called the police state of California rather than the Golden State. Let's read Article 1 of their state constitution. And it says, this is Declaration of Rights. Alright? Section 1. All people are by nature free and independent and have inalienable rights. Among these are enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property, and pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy. Honor it. Exercise it. Preserve it. All those BS laws you got there, invalid, null and void. Let's keep on roaming around here. And I know there's other areas, like right here, Section 4, free exercise and enjoyment of religion without discrimination or preference are guaranteed. Okay. Number 5, military is subordinate to civil power. Standing army may not be maintained in peacetime. Soldiers may not be quartered in any house in wartime except as prescribed by law or in time without owner's consent. Here's one for you, California. Section 6. Slavery is prohibited. Involuntary servitude is prohibited except to punish crime. What was Kelley's crime? What was he convicted of? Questioning? That's real manly of those douchebags. Here's Section 7. A person may not be deprived of liberty or property without due process of law or denied equal protection of the laws, provided that nothing contained herein or elsewhere in this Constitution imposes upon the state of California or any public entity, board, or official any obligations or responsibilities which exceed those imposed by the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution with respect to the use of pupil school assignment or pupil transportation. In enforcing the subdivision or any other provision of this Constitution, no court of the state may impose upon the state of California of any public entity, board, or official any obligation or responsibility with respect to the use of principal school assignment or pupil transportation. Interesting here. Alright, we're just going to keep on going down here. I don't know why they put that on there. Okay, no. This is, I find interesting too. The right of the people to be secured in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable seizures and searches may not be violated, and the warrant may not issue except on probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons, things to be seized. That's Article 1, Section 13. And I have to say this: they didn't. They actually conscripted to Mr. Thomas that we're going to search your bag. So they violated that. And cruel and unusual punishment may not be inflicted or excessive fines imposed. Well, we're almost in Senate, we got away with that. And I want to go a little bit more down here if I can. Section 24. At the last sentence, this declaration of rights may not be